Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an awesome life. No, I'm not trying to be cool. I have some very bad news. Little Coo Bear is gone. And I could have waited to tell you this, but I want to share grief with you. And I know he's just a little cat, but when you love something and it loves you unconditionally, it's tough to let it go. And I didn't want to hide these emotions from you, because no matter how awakened you are, you never stop being human. And right now, my heart is breaking. And what I want you to know is, it never stops being challenging. Loss will happen no matter what, till the day you die. And then you'll be somebody else's loss. And I had to ask myself, would it be easier if he had never come into my life? And if you don't know the story, I'm allergic to cats, and this cute little kitty kept showing up at my door, and eventually we became friends. I'm even allergic to cats, and he was like a little puppy. He would follow me everywhere, and we became friends, and pretty soon Coo was running the house and making friends with the neighbors and cuddling with me at night and doing the cutest little things, and he had a great personality. And yesterday morning, when we woke up super early, he wanted to go outside like he always does, and he didn't come back for breakfast. And I verified today, 24 hours later, that coyotes did get him, because I went and looked myself just to know for sure if it was him, and it was. So Coo went out the way Coo wanted to, and that was going and having fun and running around like a little banshee. And I don't know if you know cats, but I sure didn't. And I learned really quickly that you can't change the habits of a stray. So he's gone. So the question is, is it easier to just protect yourself and never open that door and let that little cat in? Or did I benefit? And I benefited. And I know a lot of you are dealing with grief. And if you see me in the last few years that I've had this channel, I've lost both my parents, my dog, my cousin, and my brother. And somehow this little cat is just really tugged at my heart. So I'm gonna grieve, I'm gonna cry, and I'm gonna experience being human. And I can ask why, why did this have to happen? And I'm not gonna question it, because there is no chaos in the universe. Everything happens for a reason. And he came in for a reason, and he went out when he did for a reason. So there must be some changes coming. Or maybe he did his job, and now it was time for him to move on. And I'll be sad. I do know that he's in a beautiful place. I do know that I'll see him again. I do know that I'll miss him. But Every day will get better. And we have to look at these experiences as just transitions that we all go through. It's going to be me someday that leaves this earth. And hopefully I'll have somebody that cares enough about me to cry. And if they don't, that's okay too. But he did his job, and he was a beautiful little light for a lot of people who just fell in love with him. And I learned that I love cats. I love all animals. I really wasn't a cat person at all, and I got to understand cats. Take a dog and do the total opposite. That's a cat. Except for this one, he was a cuddly little cute thing. So, what do you do with loss? Nothing. Nothing. You sit with it, just like fear, just like worry. You sit with it. And you don't have to be okay with it. You don't have to question it. And just know that this too shall pass. And that this is part of being a human being. And I can't imagine losing a child. I've never had kids, but I think about how I feel right now. And I know that losing this little cat, my life will go on, but I know some of you have lost children or recently lost parents. I've read your comments and I hear your pain. I hear your pain, but I want you to know that it's okay to experience this grief, this loss of this love that you expressed and received. And I'm not going to apologize for crying. And I didn't have to shoot this. And I might have to watch it a few times before I publish it. Because it's not easy to share your deepest, darkest moments. Fear. We don't talk about fear. We don't tell people. We're just petrified most of the time. Or worry. I talk to people and I have no clue that they are just terrified inside because we're not allowed to talk about that. It's like if we admit it, it becomes real. It's okay to admit it. Now, when you go into these phases, there comes a point when you have to let go of it. So grief, yeah, go ahead and feel it and sit with it, just like fear. I tell you, go into a meditation state and just look at it and say, I don't have to understand this. I can just experience it. Because every day, it'll change. And you'll get lighter. And you'll know that everything has a purpose. And when people leave and little animals, they go out, they made that decision. Or maybe you too agreed to something. And that maybe they're just more powerful on the other side for you. So I wanted to know what happened to him, and I had a pretty good idea if he didn't show up at the doorstep for breakfast, something really bad happened. So I scoured the neighborhood a few times, and then I did it again this morning when I opened the door and he wasn't standing there. I knew something really bad had happened. So I asked for the answer. I said, please, I just want to know. I need to know. I'm asking for a miracle. And that's just an answer, even if it was the worst case scenario. I was hoping he got locked in somebody's shed or something. And I looked at my phone and one of the neighbors said, call me. And she said that they had found his fur in their backyard. And they have coyotes in their backyard. There's a lot of coyotes around here. And he wandered where he shouldn't have, and he got cornered. And you know what? He lived the way he wanted to, and he went out the way he wanted to. So I got confirmation that he's gone. So I got my answer, and it was a painful one, but now I know, because it would have been worse for me to sit here wondering what happened to my little baby, if somebody ran him over or whatever. So I know he probably went really quick, and he went out roaming around like a little stray kitty does. I couldn't get that out of him. You don't change stray cats' habits like that, even though he spent most of his time inside. So my question to you is, you know, I look at him and I'm thinking, I could have kept him inside all the time and never let him out or trained him on a, you know, kitty litter. He wouldn't have had that. No way. There was no way that was going to happen. He loved being outside. He used to sit on my porch all day. He'd guard my house. He'd guard the neighbors' homes. He'd go visit them. He wanted to live his life that way. And for me to protect him to the point where he'd have lived forever very unhappy made no sense. So I did the best I could. He had a wonderful, wonderful life. So I guess my question to you is, how are you living your life? You know, I'd rather go out living my life to the fullest than staying protected and never doing things. I'm so glad he was in my life, and I could just have never opened the door and let him in, because I knew at some point I would probably lose him. When you have a pet, there's a good chance you're going to see them die in your lifetime. You know, your parents are probably going to die in your lifetime. It's all inevitable. So the question is, are you living your life, or are you protecting yourself from this? You can't. Stuff happens. Stray kitties show up and love you unconditionally. So my message to you is, live life. Be okay. Be okay with this. Don't continue down the road of grief. Just feel it and know that you were blessed to have that animal or that person in your life. Hope that they lived their life to the fullest and that they weren't protecting themselves, because you can't. You're on planet Earth. You can't protect yourself from it. It will find you, and it will be a blessing. Because if you love this much to grieve like this, you're blessed to have that love in your life. So don't be sad. I will be. But I'll get over it, and I'll have happy memories, and the sadness will fade. So I'm glad you got to meet Koo. And I hope that you just send blessings to all of those who have left us, because they're in a happy, beautiful place, and we are in the density of grief. They don't experience that on the other side. So sit and be human and know that this is unique. Other planets don't go through this. They celebrate. And I'm going to celebrate my time with him. Celebrate those who you've lost. Celebrate your own life and be okay with loving and putting yourself out there. It's worth it. It opens you up to more love and gratitude. And this too shall pass. So, blessings to you. You're whole and perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Yeah, I'm looking real happy right now. I'm happy he was in my life. So, blessings to you, my friend. Blessings to Koo. God bless him. Namaste.